Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode. I'm Trisha,
I'm Anna.
and unfortunately, Rina couldn't be with us today, but we have a special guest, Megan. Thank you so much for being here. Megan is an adult romance writer, and her debut is coming out very soon, March 18th. And today we're chatting with her about the process of writing her book and everything about her story.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. I'm really excited to chat with you all today. It's wild that it's so soon. It's like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So.
I know.
I know. How are you feeling?
I don't know. I go from like really excited to really nervous, and then it's just too much, and I can't think about it anymore.
Yeah, because soon people will have your books in their hands. It's like going from a childhood dream, I imagine, to like, oh, this is so real.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's crazy. I can't even put words to it, which is also crazy because I'm a writer. So.
Oh, but that's very different, you know? Like,
Yeah.
writing it is one thing, but talking about it is completely like a whole other ballpark, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's then start talking about your book. We were very glad we were able to read it and that we can chat to you about it. And for our listeners that don't know yet, the book is called Fake It Like You Mean It, and it follows Elle. Elle's grandmother raised her in a small town. However, she has Alzheimer's disease. And as it's progressing, Elle has to step up and move back to her childhood home. However, Adam, a living in nurse, is also there. And they have to live together.
Oh.
Yeah. So we have a first question that we have to ask you,
Okay.
which is, do you sleep with your socks on?
No, absolutely not. No. Never.
So that is like your personal opinion, not just
Yeah.
the character's opinion.
Yeah. And I have friends who have gotten mad at me because I put that in there. They're like, what do you do if your feet are cold? I'm like, I just deal with it. I don't know. I can't.
Oh no! But is it something? It's a nick for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so
Do
your
you?
husband does not sleep with his socks on.
He does not. No.
Whew.
Yeah,
Do you?
No, I
I
don't.
do. I feel under pressure. Like I'm being judged. I do sleep with my socks on, but I'm like super cold all the time. My
But-
hands are cold, my feet are cold.
But do you take them off during the night?
No.
You keep them?
Yeah.
Okay. Because my partner, he goes into bed with these socks, but he always takes them off after a
Like-
bit. After they're warm. I don't know.
Just
That-
get another blanket.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh my. But okay. But I'm a little bit like Elle, and I don't know if you are, because I can sleep through everything. Like my alarm will ring, and I'll dream about the alarm ringing, but will not wake up. So are you like that as well?
That is not me. I am a very light sleeper. My husband, I would say, is L. He can sleep through anything and everything, and I wake up if like a tree blows outside. So
Oh.
So you got that part from your husband?
yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And another question that we're really interested in making is, Elle is a podcaster.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to know the reason why you chose that career for her.
Yeah, so I would say Elle is based on one of my best friends in real life. Her name is Michelle, and she is a photographer. And so I couldn't exactly, I didn't want to make it exactly like her. And then with Elle being from Chicago, they have the train system that's called the L. And so actually the podcast came first really before I had the rest of Elle's story. It was always going to be Elle on the L. And then it just kind of progressed from there. I really like the Humans of New York Instagram accounts and like the human interest pieces that you see on TikTok and all of those. And so I just thought that Elle would be great at that.
Wow. I don't know. And I love that it was like your first thing about her.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And Elle is inspired in your best friend, you said. Were there any people that were the inspiration for Elle's best friends in the book, Liz and Dakota?
No, it's more of the. So they live in Chicago, and it's more of the like the feeling of being 20-something or in your early 30s and not really knowing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're very chaotic together, and I think that they bring out the best in each other. And I wanted Elle to have a really strong support system, especially if I knew that she was going to be like ripped out of everything that was familiar to her in the book.
Yeah, I really loved their friendship, the support they had in each other, and I loved the scene where Liz stays with Elle, not wanting to spoil very much. And that support, the fact that she changed the sheets, that for me was just it
Friendship
intensified
goals.
their friendship. I really liked that.
Moving on from friendship and talking about love, how did you write about Elle and Adam's chemistry? Because I feel like sometimes that's a bit more complicated to write because you're a romance reader. You know, the stakes are high. You read so many good books. How was the process of writing it?
It took a while, and I want to give a shout out to my agent, Rebecca. Before we started sending it to publishers, we worked a lot on it. She's really great. She's a big romance reader as well. So she was able to kind of help me comb through the moments where, you know, like you touch hands for the first time and it's a big deal. Or you're like slow dancing in the kitchen. And so much of that is new, but so much of it is like pretend. Like they're just faking, right? So it was a really fine line to walk. And I want Elle to be honest with herself and be like, oh, he's actually really attractive. But also how much is real and how much is not. So it was fun and it was good, and it definitely happened over time. It wasn't perfect on the first go by any means.
And were any of those scenes between them inspired in real life? I think they were mostly fictional. I mean, I danced like with my husband sometimes in the kitchen, but it wasn't like inspired by one specific time or anything. That's cute. But I have to say, the other day, I spilled something on me, and I had a moment where I was like, my partner should be home, because I just read your book, and I was like, I had to take my clothes off and put them in the laundry. So my partner should be here.
Oh my.
Because I immediately thought about your book. Immediately.
Yeah, it's kind of an inside joke with my family now. My mom read it. Yeah, my mom read it. And then, of course, she had to go and tell everybody about it. And so now it's something that they like to poke at me for.
Oh, no. So they did not respect your wish at the end of the book?
No. Well, they haven't read it yet. I don't know. I think some of them have ordered it. We'll see. I'm just going to block it out. I have to disassociate.
Oh my. Yeah, I can understand. It's just complicated to like move on. I you know that your friends and your family read those things, and it's like, oh no. But it's part of being a romance writer, right? It's
Definitely.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a part of the human experience as well. So I think everybody has experienced those things at some point or another.
I hope that these people experience that in their lives, because they would be, happier.
Happy. Yeah.
Yeah, but was there like one scene besides this one that you wrote and you were like, oh, my readers are gonna love this. They're gonna scream.
Ooh, the one, it's towards the beginning where they're talking and he's about to like go to the grocery or something, and he's like, your toenails are blue. It matches other things. You like a lot of things that shade of blue. And she's like, if you keep staring at my toes, I'm going to think you have a fetish. That one was fun. And then I really love the Halloween scene when they're watching the movie together.
Same. Same.
That one gives me butterflies.
Same.
One of my favorites, I know it's like a really small thing, but one of my favorite things, without spoiling, is when they were watching TV for the first time together, or one of the first times, and he whispers in her ear, and I was like,
Chills.
that's when
Yeah.
I was screaming.
Now, moving a little bit off romance and going into Lovi's story. I know that there was a moment that you really enjoyed.
There were many.
Yeah.
There were many moments that I really enjoyed, but there was a moment that I had to text Anna because I was at a concert and I was almost crying. You did this to me, Megan. I was trying not to cry, like, because the concert was about to start, and I was trying not to cry. People were around me, and I had to text Anna, okay, I need to calm down because this was so beautiful. And it was like more towards the end when Elle and Lovie have a moment together. Lovie doesn't remember Elle yet, but they're going through their memories. And I was like, this is so sad. But yeah, how was the experience of writing these difficult emotional parts of the story?
Yeah, it was hard for me too. I cried a lot. So my grandfather had Alzheimer's, and my family made the decision to keep him at home and to care for him themselves, like through the entirety of the end of his life. And Elle does not make that decision. Obviously, it's a very hard personal decision. But I saw that sacrifice, and even years later, hearing them reflect back on it, it was really hard for our family, and I think it was a pivotal moment. And so I just really tried to capture that on paper as best as I could. I definitely don't think I did it perfectly. Everyone's experience is so different. Alzheimer's itself is different from person to person, and so I just really tried to be true to Lovey the character, and also pay respects to my family and their journey with it.
Yeah. I actually have to say that Lovie's part hit me hard because my grandma also had Alzheimer's and Parkinson. And so seeing that and seeing Elle's choices, it was also a choice that my family did, not continuing because it was also affecting our family and our life, you know. So we had to make that hard decision as Elle did. But yeah, it was my favorite part of the book. I know it's a romance, but
It's a
it
lot of
connected
favorite-
to me.
Yeah, a lot of readers have said that it's really heartening.
It is. And I don't know, I wanted to thank you because I don't think I'm not an avid romance reader. But I think that there's not a lot of romance books that capture this disease or that bring it to light at all. So I also want to thank you for bringing that to life and for, helping. It helped me because I also had a hard time processing after she passed away. So it helped me process it again and
I'm gonna cry.
go through it. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm really glad that it touched you.